You know, typically when situations like this arise, it's the viewer that really does not grasp what's going on. And they'll sit there and they'll dislike the video because it's not what they expected. It's not what they want. But certain situations happen, and shit happens, life happens. And I woke up this morning pretty much with a throat that was on fire. And I had no voice, I could not speak, and I wasn't going to strain my voice anymore because I want to give you guys a quality review of Roadblock tonight after the pay-per-view ends on the WWE Network. I was thinking long term. Last night I had the opportunity to call what was probably the last match for the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley. Last night, I led the charge with my partner, Matthew Ryan Shapiro. We both led the charge in the Great War as the House of Glory Tag Team Championships were being defended at their 6-year anniversary show. And it came at a cost. My voice was not really where it should be. And I was contemplating and I was thinking, do I fight through it? Do I record an off the script for you guys at less than 50%? Or do I reach out to a friend that I know, who I know that can certainly handle the opportunity, who knows his shit? And that's exactly what I did. I reached out to Rusty. Now, before you guys jump down my throat and start saying, "Oh, JD, this is not what we wanted, man." Rusty is good people. Rusty knows his shit. Rusty is just like I am. He's going to give you the views and opinions that you want to hear, with no sugarcoating anything. Direct, in your face, telling you like it is. So today, for the first time, there is a guest host for Off the Script. Today, you will see Rusty take the reins for episode number 148, part 3 of Off the Script. And what I want you guys to do is show him the same amount of love you always show me on every single episode. What I want you guys to do is support him the same way you support me. What I want you guys to do is go over to his Twitter and his YouTube page and subscribe and follow, because Rusty's going to be working with me for the foreseeable future. And I want you guys to get accustomed to the people that I'm going to be working with. When situations like this come around, it's always great to have a great backup plan. And Rusty is my backup plan today, and I expect each and every one of you guys to show him the same level of support you would show me. I should and hopefully will be back to 100% next Friday for Off the Script, episode 149, where we will be doing a pro wrestling crate unboxing, and we'll be going over literally everything as we head into the new year for WWE. Until then, I'm JD. I'll see you guys most definitely tonight for Roadblock, end of the line, review and results. But until then, support Rusty on this episode of Off the Script.
On this Off the Script episode number 148, part 3, John Cena turning heel at WrestleMania 33, WWE possibly interested in Bobby Lashley coming back, and a possible brand switch for 2 major talents on Raw and SmackDown. All this and a guest host today on Off the Script.
JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. Big Show and Ryback, Strowman and Roman. Get off my fucking TV and save me the misery. And all you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script.
So as you can see, I am not JD. My name is Rusty, known as Falcon 1974. JD's co-host and cohort in GCW, the mighty 2K17 Universe mode, here on YouTube.com. And JD is sick as hell. He blew out his voice last night calling Hardys versus Dudleys at House of Glory. Hit me up this morning on Twitter. He said, I can't do GCW today. I'm not going to be able to get Off the Script done today. And I was like, dude, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Rest up. Watch Roadblock. Get your review in after you're done. Everything will be fine. Sends me a message back. Later on, he goes, how'd you like to do Off the Script? Yes. Yeah, I'll do Off the Script for you. Let's get the news out there. I've worked in broadcast for many years, and the news never stops. So, because of that, here we are, Off the Script, number 148, part 3. And let's get into it. Now, the word on the street is that John Cena is going to turn heel finally at WrestleMania 33 for the Undertaker match. Now, it's starting to look more and more likely that John Cena is going to be going to the Royal Rumble for his final World Heavyweight Championship, and it seems like John Cena doesn't want to waste any time, and he's going to jump right into the championship scene. While most fans are not too keen on the prospect of John Cena cutting in line over the other active WWE superstars that are out there, this move by Cena might just be the starting point of a storyline that turns him into a heel just in time for his match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. According to Cage Side Seats, John Cena is going straight back on the World Heavyweight Championship scene as soon as he returns on December 26th at SmackDown. Here, he was left feuding with Ambrose and Styles and looks to pick up the storyline right from there. Although Cena is heavily advertised to figure in a triple threat match with Styles and Dean Ambrose upon his return, sources are saying that it is in the Royal Rumble where John Cena will win his record-tying 16th World Championship from AJ Styles. This is where it will get explosive for the WWE, as there are rumblings that John Cena could start to turn heel that will set up a match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. According to a quote from major WWE figure and ex-commentator Jim Ross, this could be a real possibility. He is suggesting that the WWE should turn John into a heel and have him battle it out with The Undertaker at WrestleMania. This would definitely produce a historic first quarter for the WWE. First off, you have the fact that John Cena will finally tie Ric Flair with 16 World Heavyweight Championships and could lead him to finally breaking that long-standing record. Second, if John Cena really does turn heel, it will finally mark a story arc that a lot of WWE fans have been clamoring for. A lot of people may not remember it, but John Cena was a pretty effective heel. In fact, it was probably Cena and his goofy, arrogant rapper wannabe act that got him endeared to fans, which finally catapulted him to becoming the company's top wrestler. And of course, there is the fact that a heel Cena versus The Undertaker match at WrestleMania 33 would be quite the spectacle. In fact, if WWE can pull that one off, then it would probably produce one of WrestleMania's most historic matches alongside the likes of Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Jim Ross definitely has a good point for the WWE to finally put John Cena in the heel role, as he would probably get booed to death anyways if Cena figures into any type of feud with The Undertaker after the Royal Rumble. Turning heel might be the publicity that John Cena needs in order to jumpstart his seemingly inevitable rise in Hollywood. But the truth is, WWE may still hold on to John Cena's superhero image until the very end. The WWE wants to milk John Cena's appeal to the younger audiences, as well as continuously use him for those Make-A-Wish appearances. What's sad is that the WWE has chosen publicly merchandise sales and his publicity over John Cena's character and having room and flexibility to evolve to much better storylines for the fans. While Cena's charity work should be commended, fans were probably robbed of better storylines and amazing matches just because the WWE keeps insisting that John Cena remain a face for so many years straight. But if they do change their minds, John Cena turning heel for The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33 might just give WWE its most explosive year ever. And right now, they need it. With ratings falling and dropping more and more on USA television, not only for Raw, but for SmackDown as well. They haven't gone up as of recently. They keep going down. They need a boost. They need something to really bring interest back in the fans, bring them back around, something that will make them feel as if, oh my God, we are fooled. Once again, John Cena is not your good guy. He's a bad guy now. I now have a renewed interest to really come out here and do this. Much like when Hollywood Hulk Hogan finally turned on everybody and joined the NWO. This would be that kind of turn with John Cena. Something to reinvigorate the product and bring it back. Now moving on, WWE reportedly interested in bringing back Bobby Lashley. And it's very interesting how TNA has been such an asset to WWE over the last couple of years. While the head-to-head attempt by TNA brand in 2010 was an absolute flop, and Vince McMahon is not very moved with TNA from a competition standpoint, the recruitment that has been made of former TNA talent shows that people from WWE are watching the product enough to know when to acquire good wrestlers and characters. In fact, many would say that WWE has made former TNA talents even better. I would definitely say that they've made them even better. While in TNA, Bobby Roode was one of the pillars of the company. Starting with TNA during its early stages, Roode evolved from a Team Canada member, if you remember Team Canada on TNA, and part of one of the greatest tag teams in TNA history, to a world champion singles competitor. However, his character really started to lose his luster until he came over to WWE. You know, cue Glorious right here. Samoa Joe, yet another example. He was once a world championship competitor, but saw himself throughout his TNA run shuffling through the X division, as well as the Mafia event, the main event Mafia, the Beatdown Clan, and tag teaming with Magnus. Samoa Joe highly underutilized in his time in TNA. In NXT, however, he's also reviving his career, becoming one of the top names of the company for the past year. He is also the first ever two-time NXT champion, defeating both Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura to achieve that goal. Not a small feat in any regard. Now it looks like WWE executives have their eyes on another TNA top talent. Aside from the reports of Matt Hardy and Eli Drake, Wrestling News is reporting that former United States champion Bobby Lashley is also on the radar for a return. Lashley, now 40, has not stepped foot into a WWE ring in nearly 9 years and seems to be at the tail end of his career. However, as we've seen with Roode, who is just 2 weeks away from turning 40 himself, age plays only a small factor if someone has what it takes to have a successful stint in the WWE. While Lashley was in WWE, he had a very successful career. In just the 3 years Lashley was only in for 3 years that he was there, and during that time he became the United States champion, main evented pay-per-views for the World Heavyweight Championship, and even captured the ECW Championship. Lashley was also handpicked to feud with Vince McMahon, which is something very few names are able to say. Perhaps the biggest moment for Lashley now in his WWE tenure was when he headlined WrestleMania 23, picked by now President-elect Donald Trump. Lashley competed against Umaga, who was picked by Vince McMahon in a hair versus hair match. For those that remember that one, that was a hell of a night. The match also featured Stone Cold Steve Austin as a special guest referee, and in the end, we saw Lashley defeating Umaga, forcing Vince McMahon to get his head shaved by Donald Trump. Bobby Lashley right there in the center of the stage. Quite a time. I'd like to see Bobby Lashley come on back. I'm not sure if it would happen. We know that Brock Lesnar has a kind of thing where he's allowed to compete in the UFC while being in the WWE. Bobby Lashley is still doing MMA as well, and he's got a special relationship with TNA that allows him to do his MMA fighting along with being in TNA. Time will tell. It looks like they really want to have something going on with Bobby Lashley and bring back some power into the WWE locker room. Now, the New Day. We've talked about the New Day over on my channel quite extensively and how they need to be dropping the titles quickly. The New Day is expected to drop the WWE Raw Tag Team titles very soon. Now, earlier this week, the New Day managed to reach the record for the longest reign with any tag team in WWE history. But could they possibly lose the titles now that the record is broken? Sheamus and Cesaro won a match at Tribute to the Troops this past Wednesday to earn the right to face the New Day at WWE Roadblock, end of the line, tonight, which got a lot of people talking. The last time Cesaro and Sheamus worked a straight tag team match against the New Day, they had them beaten before an issue occurred due to outside interference. This led to the New Day retaining, which sucked to see for Sheamus and Cesaro fans. Now that the two have yet another shot at the WWE Raw Tag Team titles this Sunday, one has to wonder if the New Day will drop the titles this time around. And according once again to Cage Side Seats, now that the New Day have the WWE Tag Team title reign record in the bag, the idea is for them to drop the titles soon. This is a pretty big scenario for the WWE, as the New Day have been tag team champs for over a year. The rumor going around is that they could drop the titles as soon as Sunday at WWE Roadblock. End of the line. It has been said for some time now, the WWE wants to put the titles on Sheamus and Cesaro, but the WWE could always have the New Day continue to totally demolish Demolition's now former tag team title record. There are some fans who believe it would be smart to have the New Day drop the titles to a newer tag team that would need the tag push, such as the Revival. I know JD is one of those guys. But before people assume this would be a crazy plan over the likes of Sheamus and Cesaro, the proof is there with the Revival that they're an absolutely amazing and incredible tag team who can work the heel role as well as any group before them. They have proven in NXT that they can wrestle quite well, and they have made a name for themselves on the yellow brand. It would make perfect sense for the Revival to take the titles from the New Day so that they can claim that they ended the greatest tag team championship of all time. The former two-time NXT Tag Team Champions have had Match of the Year tag matches with the likes of American Alpha and DIY during NXT TakeOver events this past year, so there is proof that the two would be terrific foes for the New Day. They could always end the reign and lose the titles right back to the New Day at WrestleMania 33, which would give the New Day the big WrestleMania win that they currently lack. Regardless, the WWE knows that they cannot keep the Raw tag titles on New Day for much longer. Fans have been begging for a change, but knew the WWE wanted them to have the record. That is why the plan is to have them drop the titles relatively soon, as the WWE also feels the reign has been a bit too long. Someone new with the titles is very much needed right now. And oftentimes, record reigns are never broken due to the length one has to go to get there. People love seeing records taken down to replace them with someone new, but the wait for the reign records is often really long. The WWE Tag Team record is one of the few that can be broken without much harm because WWE's tag scene right now on the main roster has not been amazing over the last few years. Things got a lot better this year, and more so after the brand split. Now that tag wrestling is definitely back and we've got it on both brands, the championship reign cannot be as long. Regardless, WWE felt that the New Day needed to get it. They came up, we knew they were coming up on it when they beat Brian Kendrick and Paul London's title reign, and they started edging ever so much closer. It might also have a lot to do with Demolition going after the WWE in court alongside a bunch of other wrestlers for their concussion protocol that they never had back in the day and now that they do have. Of course, that could not be the main reason that they broke the record, right? Despite who we see as new champs, expect change by early next year at the latest, and the soonest later on tonight at the pay-per-view. Now, a lot of talk as far as what goes on backstage between Vince McMahon, Triple H, 205 Live, what is going on? This week, the WWE made it a priority to tout the available content that lives on the WWE Network. And the library has surpassed the 7,000-hour mark with events from WWE, WCW, ECW, a lot of original programming. The expansion has become a major initiative and will continue in 2017 on the WWE Network, with declining subscription numbers weighing heavily on the minds of WWE officials. They were one of the first. They got to 1 million subscribers on their network faster than any other streaming product out there, faster than Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, all of them. They hit 1 million faster than anybody. Now, in addition, Vince McMahon seems to have had a major change of heart in regards to his feeling on tournaments. We know that he has stated publicly and privately how he loathed them, despite the fact that several have provided memorable moments for the company that now live in perpetuity on the WWE Network. WrestleMania 4 gave us a brand new champion in Randy Savage after surviving a 14-man tournament in Atlantic City. The 1996 King of the Ring provided the genesis for Austin 316, right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, over at the Panther Arena, which was Mecca back in the day, and The Rock memorably turned heel by joining Vince at the conclusion of the 1998 Survivor Series. You fast forward to the current product, and there have been an abundance of tournaments on WWE programming. We get it. It's good stuff, right? Now, in the honor of the passing of Dusty Rhodes, Triple H brought together the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic on NXT, which has been a major success in 2015 and 2016. The Cruiserweight Classic drew rave reviews as the WWE recruited talent and performers from all around the world to compete in the WWE Network exclusive. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon have been rumored to be working on something similar for women that is currently scheduled to air sometime in 2017. And the success of the Cruiserweight Classic spawned the rebirth of the Cruiserweight division on Monday Night Raw, and more recently, they got their own show in the form of 205 Live, which immediately airs right after SmackDown on Tuesday nights on the WWE Network. Now, you take all of that into account, and it makes today's news somewhat surprising. And according to a report from Daily Wrestling News, Vince McMahon has been in control of 205 Live and not Triple H. Vince and longtime producer Kevin Dunn have been largely responsible for the creative of the show, with Triple H remaining focused on NXT and his post as second in command of Raw and SmackDown. WWE Chairman Vince McMahon has a clear vision for the direction of the Cruiserweight division, especially as it pertains to the product that's displayed weekly on 205 Live. It was reported over the summer that Triple H had a lot of convincing to do for Vince to greenlight the Cruiserweight Classic, but there was a doubt at the end of how successful it ended up being. Vince has had runs with success that have been extremely hands-on with the cruiserweights since their return. Whether that success translated into the main roster on Monday nights is certainly up for debate. But for someone like Vince to go from the thinking that cruiserweights can't draw at all to being a focal point of all of his energy is certainly interesting. The bigger criticism within the brand hasn't been so much with the performers in it, but those who aren't. There have been many who have questioned why Neville isn't being used in WWE's new high-flying division, or why Austin Aries wasn't brought up immediately upon its debut. Neville hasn't been used in a significant manner on the main roster in some time, and he really only shows up at house shows. If you go look at Pro Fight Database, you can see Neville's been out there, house shows only, dark matches before Raw. Aries was injured recently, took a big kick to the face by Shinsuke Nakamura and broke his orbital socket, and appeared as a commentator on 205 Live. So there is a feeling that he'll wrestle there when he's cleared, and has even said so himself at the commentary table on the first 205 Live, and said, once he's healthy, I'm coming for the belt. But the major takeaway from all of this is that Vince McMahon is the one who is heavily involved with the production of the cruiserweights and 205 Live. Now, for the big story that was teased at the beginning of Off the Script, two major players are possibly switching brands in 2017. Roman Reigns and AJ Styles might be the two biggest full-time stars on their respective brands in the WWE. And sure, John Cena is bigger than AJ Styles, but Cena is currently only part-time. Kevin Owens is your current Universal Champion, but Roman Reigns, who Vince McMahon wants to push, is also there. And it appears that WWE is considering switching Roman Reigns and AJ Styles possibly through a trade between SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw. Flickering Myth is reporting that McMahon loves AJ Styles and wants to bring him to Monday Night Raw. According to the report, Vince loved Styles from the beginning and was very impressed with the feud with John Cena, as well as his match with Roman Reigns. The site reports that McMahon wants Styles on Monday Night Raw, and there just needs to be a way to get him there. With the USA Network wanting SmackDown Live to have better ratings than it used to have, the WWE needs to keep that brand very strong. John Cena's there, but he's only part-time, and that means sending someone to SmackDown Live that is of equal value to the WWE. Not Sami Zayn for Eva Marie. Equal value. Roman Reigns fits the description 100%. Fatal 3-4 is reporting that Vince McMahon also wants to make changes to the United States Championship. The current champion, Roman Reigns, is set to face Kevin Owens at Roadblock this weekend, and the match is not title versus title. Just a chance for Roman Reigns to possibly hold both belts at the same time. However, there are now WWE rumors circulating that Roman Reigns won't win the Universal Championship at Roadblock, but will remain the United States Champion. The site also mentioned that the WWE wants the Intercontinental title on Monday Night Raw. A trade sending Roman Reigns and the Universal Champion to SmackDown Live for The Miz and the Intercontinental Championship is not an even trade. Despite the emergence of The Miz over the last few months as the best heel on SmackDown Live and possibly all of the WWE. A trade with Roman Reigns heading to SmackDown Live for AJ Styles is definitely a lot more even. While many fans don't want Roman Reigns pushed as a major star, he still has a large number of vocal fans as well out in the crowds and out on the internet. The reports do indicate that the WWE would not consider making the Roman Reigns for AJ Styles trade until after WrestleMania 33 in 2017. At the moment, the biggest rumors are that Roman Reigns will battle Braun Strowman at the event, something that seems small for Roman Reigns right now after his last 2 years, but the WWE wants to turn Braun Strowman into the unstoppable giant. JD has reported on that one in the past here on Off the Script. As for AJ Styles, there's no news on what the WWE has planned for him. The word is that John Cena will face The Undertaker, and one of them might be the WWE champion heading into the big event. If that's true, there's always a chance that an interpromotional match could take place, and AJ Styles could face Finn Balor in what could be the best match of the entire show. The Inquisitor is reporting that Finn Balor wants to be back to the WWE in time for WrestleMania 33. And of course, AJ Styles heading to Monday Night Raw is just a rumor, even though there are signs that Vince McMahon seems to love the former TNA Impact Wrestling star. Moving Roman Reigns to SmackDown Live is interesting, but would seem to push Roman Reigns back down, as many within the WWE and fans in the WWE universe see that as the B show right now. This is also something that many WWE fans might reject right now. SmackDown Live is considered the wrestling show. We see it week after week. It's the wrestling show. Monday Night Raw is your entertainment show, as you've heard us complain about how little wrestling and how much promo time they have on a 3-hour show. Many fans vocally want Cesaro and Sami Zayn moved to SmackDown Live, where they could have better matches. I, for one, would be all for Sami and Cesaro making their way over, but at that point, you are pushing talent down that might not get enough airtime as well over on SmackDown. And who are you going to fill it with over on Raw? That's all we've got for Off the Script today. I want to thank JD once again for allowing me to come to all of you for Off the Script number 148, Part 3. If you're so inclined to do, check me out down below. The link is going to be in the description of this video. Go get your shirts from JD. All of your Get Off My TV shirts are over there on barbershopwindow.com. Link is in the description down below. Until next time, my name is Rusty. JD will be back with Off the Script number 149 later on this week. I'm out. Thanks, guys.